eyes, you're finally home! I can't tell you how much we've all missed you, Father. And we've worried so about you. Welcome home.
It's nice to be back. I love you, and I've missed you all.
Welcome home.
I'm home. Beth, what are you doing over there?
Father, welcome home.
Come here, give Father a hug.
Father!
Everything's going to be all right now, I promise. I've been worried about you, Beth.
I've been worried about you. I'm so happy you're home.
God bless you all.
Father, I missed you so much.
Oh, John, thank you for everything.
Yes.
Everyone listen. There is someone very special in the room, and I would like you to acknowledge him. Mr. Brooke, please step forward. I'm sure Mother wrote you and told you that he was helpful. You should also know he was tireless in his devotion to serve Mother. Knowing we could depend on him helped my recovery. We all owe him a debt of thanks and gratitude.
It was nothing. I was happy to do it.
Oh, thank you very much, John. We appreciate all you've done. Thank you, John.
I appreciate you too, John.
Thank you for all of your help. We're very grateful.
Don't mention it. You're really quite welcome. I think that, Meg, maybe your father would like to sit and rest now. Pull up a chair so he can make himself at home.
Yes. Father,
There.
why don't you sit over here?
That's better.
Laurie, perhaps it's time we left them alone. This family has been separated for much too long. They have quite a bit of catching up to attend to.
You're right. Good idea.
You're not leaving, are you?
We thought you'd like to spend some time with your family. Good day.
Don't forget now, dinner's at 8. Come a bit early if you can. Hannah, what's the matter?
I'm just happy. Mr. March is home.
Hannah, would you come in here a moment, please? I'd like to talk to you.
With you being gone, it just hasn't been the same around here, Mr. March.
Thank you. Hannah, is that dinner I see you holding in your hand?
Oh, my.
Well, you were planning on cooking that turkey tonight, weren't you?
No, I'm cooking my heart out for your family and friends. Excuse me.
Until dinner time. Good day.
Mr. Brooke, congratulations.
What?
You have to be kidding. I saw Meg take hold of your hand when she thanked you.
Yes. I'm curious. Just how much studying were you able to accomplish since I've been gone? It is my job to check up.
That isn't fair, John.
To tell you the truth, I didn't expect to be home so early either. It was a surprise for me as well.
Come on. Tell the truth. You like surprising us.
I did indeed. But once the doctor had given me permission to come back home for a visit, Mr. Brooks suggested I send you a telegram, but I wanted to see the surprised look on your faces.
You surprised us all right. And we're loving every minute of it.
There were times when I was lying in that hospital when I doubted that this day would ever come. I'd not be here if John hadn't taken good care of me in my stay there. He likes Meg.
Oh, Father.
Believe me, fathers have a way of knowing these things.
Excuse me, but I think we've heard enough about Mr. Brooke, Father. What we want to hear about is you and all your experiences in the war.
Where shall I start? There is so much to say. I love my family, and I have missed you all dearly. But I yearn to return to the front line. I shall return to active duty in 6 months' time.
Father!
Oh, no. But, Father, we were led to believe that you'd never have to return to fight in the war after all you've suffered. And we've suffered too, haven't we? We don't want you to go back.
Yeah.
It's true.
I'm sorry to disappoint you girls, but I have an obligation to my country. I must go. You must try to understand that I have a sworn duty. I shall return to the war as soon as I'm able.
Then, Father, my heartfelt wish is that the war will be over by the time you're well enough to fight again.
That is my wish, also. And I wish that for more than selfish reasons. Are you afraid that I might be killed in battle?
Others have been killed.
Don't you worry. I'm not dying. And even if I were to die today, I have hovered so near death in the recent past, I know there is nothing to fear. You see, once I had recovered my strength, the doctors told me there was a moment when I had stopped breathing. Nevertheless, I am here with a new lease on life.
Oh, Father. Stay with us, please. Don't go back.
It's my duty.
You've done your part. Why do you want to go back?
To preserve our union. We have to win this war. Otherwise, I fear what will become of this nation.
Father, may I play my piano for you? I've improved a lot since you left.
Beth, I would love to hear you play.
Good.
Did you notice it's a new one?
Of course I did. Mr. Lawrence wrote and told me that he had bought a new piano for Beth. And I have been looking forward to hearing her play it ever since.
Ready?
And so Father was home, and we were once again united as a family. But he has to return to the war again as soon as he is able. I don't want him to go. But however long we get to have him home with us, I want to be close. I want him to know I love him.
Father sure has taken a real liking to Mr. Brooke, hasn't he? Aren't you going to say anything?
I think we owe him a debt of gratitude, as Father said. Now, will you please stop pestering me about him?
All right, but if you ask me, it's pretty unbelievable.
Oh, what's that?
Come on, think about it, Meg. It makes a lot of sense. I know he helped Father recover in the hospital, but that isn't why he was there. His real purpose for being there was to win your affections and make you fall in love with him.
Joe, when did you become so cynical? I don't believe one word of that.
Oh, come on, Meg. Do you mean to tell me that you believe he spent all that time at the hospital because of his feelings for Father? It's as clear as the nose on your face that he did all that because he loves you. Can't you see that?
Maybe.
Meg, listen to me. Whether you believe it or not, that man is about to ask you to marry him.
Maybe.
Oh, you can be so stubborn sometimes, Meg.
It's too soon to be thinking about getting married.
Well, of course it is. Meg, you're just not ready. I'm surprised that you'd even considered getting married right now. It's simply out of the question.
That is probably good advice.
Boy, am I glad to hear you say that. What a relief. So, when he does ask you, you can just say no and that'll be that.
That's exactly what I'm telling him.
Of course, the real question is, what are you going to tell him? Just how are you going to say no? Naturally, you don't want to offend him. Of course, I could talk to him for you.
You'd best hush up because I am making my
Meg,
own decisions,
oh!
understand?
What has gotten into you? I'm only trying to help. Enough said, right?
Yes.
Lori,
Hi, Joe.
please come in.
For you.
Welcome. Let us break bread.
That evening, we sat down to a feast of Thanksgiving in celebration of Christmas and Father's safe return home. Indeed, it was a special occasion, and Father proposed a toast for everyone at the table. It was the family gathering for which I had prayed. It was the best Christmas present ever.
Enough!
Oh, no, I'm getting you back. I got you, I got you. Oh, no.
Okay, catch!
Oh!
I see that Joe still behaves like a tomboy.
Yes. But Joe was so good to me when I had scarlet fever, Father. She'd carry me from my bed so I could go out and play in the snow.
Why on earth would she do such a thing?
Because it made me feel so much better to be out in the cold, fresh air. You know, I learned when you're sick in bed and can't move around, that's the one thing you want to do more than anything else in the world. Even if it killed me, I wanted to walk in the snow.
Yes, I see. Now I understand you. It can be easy to take good health for granted and not even give it a second thought. Until, of course, we lose it, which is life's way of teaching us to appreciate it.
Yes.
Oh, look, Mr. Brooke is outside.
Is he coming in?
I don't think so. He's talking with Joe. Hey, come back here.
Beth, where's Meg? I haven't seen her.
She was in her room just a little while ago, Father.
Mr. Brooke, it's the Christmas holidays. You're not going to give me a test, are you?
Now that's my decision to make, isn't it, young man?
You're coming to see Meg, aren't you?
I'm not. I'm going there to see Mr. March. May I remind you, son, that Mr. March and I have become extremely good friends.
Well, that's good, because Meg isn't home right now. Isn't that right, Joe?
Oh, right.
Oh.
You needn't be disappointed, John. Mr. March is home. That is, if you're really coming to see Mr. March. But then again, who am I to doubt your word? Know what I mean?
I believe I do.
Hey, I get it. You're making fun of me, aren't you?
A little, maybe. I hope you don't mind.
I don't mind a bit, and I'm here to visit Mr. March.
Who's that, I wonder?
Hello, Meg.
John,
I thought
welcome.
I'd stop by to see your father.
How nice.
He's not expecting me, but may I see him?
Of course you can. He's in the parlor. Please, follow me.
Meg? Meg, why don't you ever pay me any attention?
John, I don't know what you mean.
Meg, are you afraid of me?
Not at all. How could I be afraid of a man who helped to nurse my father back to health?
Well then, Meg, listen to me. I have something important to say.
All right. No, wait, please don't, because I have a terrible feeling it's something I don't want to have to answer.
You missed.
Thank you very much.
Hello, Mrs. March.
Good afternoon, Aunt March.
Hello.
Welcome. Nice to see you.
Thank you. How is Frederick doing?
Fine. He's a bit tired, but resting comfortably.
Glad to hear it. I've come to pay my respects since it's been some 20 years.
Gosh, that's a long time.
Please, Meg, you have to tell me how you feel. You simply can't leave me in the dark like this. I love you more than words can say. Yes?
I'm too young.
I'm prepared to wait as long as it may take.
You mustn't. John, please understand me. I can't.
The time will come. One day you will surely be my bride and we will live as one.
Maybe, but not right now.
Apparently, I'm interrupting something here.
Huh? We'll talk about this later, Meg.
Who's that man there? A friend of yours?
He's the one that Father depended upon in the hospital, Aunt March. His name's John Brooke.
Wait a minute. Yes, I've heard that name. When was it?
He's Laurie's tutor.
Oh, I see. Am I mistaken, or was there some hanky-panky going on?
Aunt March, how could you think?
I would like you to remember that you girls will inherit half my estate when I pass on. But not if any of you get married without my approval. Understand?
He is a gentleman and a scholar. I like him.
But he's poor. He has no money. No niece of mine is going to marry a pauper if I have anything to say about it. Now listen to me, young lady. You'll marry a man of means if you know what's good for you.
When the time comes, I shall marry the man with whom I'm in love.
I don't approve of that young man.
No matter, for it is I who shall be marrying him and not you, Aunt March. He's the nicest man I've ever met, and I'd consider myself fortunate to be his bride.
Ah, impetuous immaturity speaking. Meg, how could you possibly know? You're too inexperienced. Anyhow, where's Frederick?
He's in the parlor, Auntie. Follow me, I'll take you to him.
Come in. Yes, Meg, what is it?
Excuse me. Father, I thought you would want to know Aunt March has dropped by and wants to pay you a visit.
Auntie!
Frederick!
My Lord, but it's been a long time.
Yes, it's been way too long. Oh, Frederick, it's so good to see
There,
you.
there. If you had waited a day or so, I was going to come by and tell you about all my adventures.
Frederick, you've aged so much.
Oh, we've all gotten a bit older. Please sit down. You'll be more comfortable.
Ah.
Ah. 20 years it's been. 20 years.
A long time.
I should have never held my grudge against.
Thank you so much. I heard what you just said about me.
You're welcome. You may as well know that's how I feel about you, John.
I love you, Meg.
And I love you, John.
Really? I wouldn't have thought so. You're kidding. Whoop. That's wonderful, Mr. Brooke. That's great.
Meg!
Oh,
How embarrassing.
Oh, Meg, how could you?
Laurie, Joe, we're engaged.
I'm glad to hear it, John. Congratulations. And best wishes to you, Meg.
Hey, Joe, well, what about you? Aren't you going to wish us well?
Why in the world should I do that? I'm sure that Meg understands what I mean.
Please don't blame me, Joe. It was only moments ago that I realized myself how much I love him.
That may be, but I'm terribly disappointed. Come on, let's go up to my room.
But Joe,
I certainly didn't expect that kind of reaction from her.
It's not your fault. I'm the one she's angry with, not you.
Oh, John, welcome. Meg, why are you just standing there? Take John inside.
But, Marmee, Aunt March is inside visiting with Father, and I just didn't think we should disturb them.
Aunt March visiting your father?
Well, the Battle of Bull Run was another story.
Aunt March and Father are talking and talking and talking.
It's not fair. She's taking all of Father's time.
Amy, they haven't seen each other for at least 20 years, so naturally they have a lot of catching up to do.
Well, I still think it isn't fair.
Amy! Marmee?
What, Meg?
John and I, well, we've been talking and... he wants my hand.
I'm delighted. I know your father will be happy about it, too. May I be the first to congratulate you.
Well, then you approve of our wedding?
Well, of course, John. Welcome to the family. And now, if you two will excuse me, I must go to the kitchen and give Hannah a hand.
That traitor! How could she do such a thing after promising me she wouldn't? Ugh!
you're jealous, aren't you, Joe?
What do you mean?
Face it, Joe, you're afraid that Mr. Brooke will take your sister away from the family after they get married.
Is that so?
I think it is. Your sister's getting married to Mr. Brooke, and you're just afraid that you'll be losing her.
Losing her? Oh, I am not.
You know what I mean.
Huh. You just don't understand. You don't have any brothers or sisters.
I can't argue with that. But look at it this way, Joe. You won't be losing your sister. You're gonna be gaining a brother-in-law instead. I think you should be happy about this, Joe. After all these years of having nothing but sisters, won't it be nice to have a brother at long last?
Yes, I suppose you're right, Laurie. I've no choice but to congratulate them and give them my blessing.
That's more like it. Besides, your mother and father both approve of John and Meg getting married.
I guess so.
You have to snap out of this. You're driving yourself crazy. There's no reason for you to be miserable.
You know, you're absolutely right. I'm gonna go along with them. John Brooke, looks like I'm gonna have a new brother-in-law.
Well, it's about time you came to your senses. You had me worried, Joe.
I'm going to congratulate them and wish them the very best.
That's right. Make them happy.
Oh, wonder who that could be.
Ah, I'm glad you're home. I came here to say goodbye. I'm going to be taking off for New York City.
When? Right now?
Yep, and I have to hurry to get down to the train depot. Goodbye. Do take care.
Is this any way to say goodbye? Please stay a little longer.
I wish I could, but I can't. I don't mean to be rude, but I truly must go.
Are you walking to the train station?
No, actually, I'm running all the way because otherwise I'll be late. Goodbye, Joe.
Please wait. Wouldn't it be easier if you could get a ride?
That's for sure.
Oh, Laurie, could you do Anthony a favor?
Sure.
He needs a ride down to the train station.
Huh? Already? I'll be glad to, but I didn't know you were leaving so soon.
You have time to take him?
I'll make time. Just give me a moment to hitch up the sleigh.
I'd sure like you to come to New York and see me sometime.
Me? New York?
It's the publishing capital of the world. Anybody who's anybody finds their way there.
New York, gosh.
So when you get there, I want you to look me up. I'll be writing a column for the Chronicle.
Sure is a lucky break.
It's sure gonna be exciting. Well, guess it's goodbye.
Remember me to Herald Square.
Lori, thank you so much.
I wish you the best of luck.
Anthony, if you don't write to me, I'll never forgive you.
Don't worry, I will.
Well, let's head back home. You want to go for a ride somewhere?
How about New York City?
Huh?
Well, what do you say we head for home?
Get up there!
Our house has been filled with one emotional experience after another. Christmas, Father's homecoming, and his reunion with Aunt March. Meg and Mr. Brooks' confessions of love and their engagement to Mary. Oh, and don't forget Joe's farewell to Mr. Anthony Boone at the train station. We've had our share of troubles this year, but all's well that ends well.
Fortunes of war can change their way.